Wah, wah.
I got nothing to start with for today.
Oh, man. You got nothing? You really are fucking unmotivated. G-Bus Christmas. Hey. So how you doing today, Mike?
You know, same old bullshit every other day.
That doesn't sound fun.
It's usually every day.
It is every day. For you. You are in a relationship.
But done.
Horrible dad jokes.
No, horrible dad jokes are things like, what do you call an Italian ghost?
What do you call an Italian ghost?
A gabagool.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
A dead comedian. Italian dead comedian.
An Italian dead comedian?
Yeah. Or a dead Italian ghost that likes to party. They could all be considered the same thing.
Okay, what's an Italian ghost that likes to party?
A fun ghoul. See, those are bad dad jokes.
God, I hate you so much.
You can thank Jesse for those.
Fuck you, Jesse. Yeah, I haven't had really. Sober October's over. That's been fun. Yay!
Congratulations, you
only fucked up once.
Made it through the whole thing.
Almost. Fucked up once. Whatever. All good. So, the CW has announced 2 new bullshit shows. Or no, not just the CW. CW and HBO. One on CW, one on HBO. We got Green Lantern coming to HBO.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a bullshit show, though. That's something I'm excited
that
about.
One I am. I forgot that the one was CW and one was HBO. Because when I first initially heard it, they were both going to be on the CW. They just said something about the CW greenlit shows. So I don't know. You read more about it.
No, I didn't.
No, you just saw the headline?
I saw the headline, too.
That was it?
You were the one that told me that they weren't casting...
Ryan Reynolds.
No. Nathan Fillion,
yeah. Well, yeah. You know, they're not going to.
Yeah.
I
assumed that you read it because you said that.
No. I just, there's,
right.
If that show came out and Nathan Fillion was being cast for it, he would have said, I would have seen it because I follow him on Twitter and shit, and he would have said something.
Would have kept that quiet, but
yeah. But when
I guess
the news
the moral
came
of the
out,
story is don't watch our podcast for current actual facts.
Horrible. We're all fake news.
Yeah.
All
more
fake
so
news
just
all the time.
Opinions about things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah. We may be wrong on shit. Whatever.
I mean, but if you're seeking a friend for the end of the world, they made a movie. Don't come to us.
Yeah, I don't know who they're casting in it or if they are casting anyone. Green Lantern show. I don't know. I just saw, like you, I saw the headline and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I thought it was a CW show.
Because it's HBO, I wouldn't put it past them to cast someone like the guy who plays Mr. Robot or played Freddie Mercury. I just can't. I wouldn't put it past them to pick someone like that because it's an HBO show. They're not usually going to cast the person that you're thinking of for one of their series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they would cast for it, but I don't think there's much information. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much information on the show, just that it's in production. Green Lantern TV show is coming to HBO Max.
It'll be like 2 years.
2020.
Yeah, like 2 years. 2020. I mean, that's not bad, but I feel like
no. That's HBO Max launches in 2020.
Yeah, but it's really quick.
Yeah, but the Lois and Clark show, the new version of that, which we'll talk about in a second, that's supposed to be for next season.
Yeah, but that's not a hard show to make.
Yeah, but I mean, those shows 6 months in a writer's room and then they start production. I mean, I'm sure they have. If they're saying that a Green Lantern show is coming to Netflix, if they're saying that it's done, that means they had to have been working on it for months.
Yeah, but just because something's in production doesn't mean it's done.
Yeah, but usually when it's in production, they've already had like 3-4 scripts already done for each episode. Like they're already
filmed anything. They haven't cast anyone.
But they start filming immediately. Like they have more than enough time because you have to think HBO depending on when in the year it comes out, they have another 9 months to make at least the first episode. Once you have the first episode, you're already, those shows only take a couple weeks to film.
Yeah, they usually film the whole season before they air it, though. Or most of it.
No. Most shows, they usually do like the first 6 or 7 episodes, maybe, and that's a 22 round thing show. So they'll have maybe the first 2 episodes filmed, and then they film them as they go.
Well, that's true. I'm thinking more how shows are recently done. Netflix, and Amazon Prime, they release them usually all at once.
Yeah, so I don't think HBO is going to go. I don't know if
HBO's always done a week by week.
Yeah. So even though it's on the streaming service, I don't know if they would film everything all at once.
Which is not something that I can say I like or dislike.
You know what? I was thinking about
when shows come out and you can watch it all at once, but then you wait twice as long to see it again.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about that recently because a new show that I watch called My Hero Academia. It's an anime. It comes out weekly. And like Japan, it works. They like the weekly thing. They don't like even their Netflix. When new shows come out on Netflix for us, their shows they release them on a episode to episode for a weekly basis, because that's just what they prefer. But like I would love if even if they don't if it's a 24 episode show, right? Give me the first 12 episodes in like
take a break
September. And then give me the next 12 episodes in like December, January, like when the next half of the season would typically start. I like the shorter thing too because you get situations like, Fuller House was an easy one. But they threw out they put 3-4 seasons out super fast. Sabrina did 2 seasons and a mini season like a 2-hour movie, all within the span of like a year and a half. So you basically are getting the same amount with Netflix because they're pumping these shows out pretty quick, especially in the shorter run shows. Even their animation is real quick.
The Marvel series and stuff, they took a while before coming back into the next season, but they did have fillers in between. But that wasn't the way it was at first.
Right.
Camera malfunction.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I like it or if I dislike it because I love, I've said multiple times on different episodes, I'm not planning on watching the CW shows until the crossover event,
right?
Because I like to binge watch things. I like to watch them all at once so that I don't feel like I'm waiting on something. But then when it's over, I'm like, God damn it, what do I watch now?
Yeah, and I think I think they should just release 6 months. 6 months, and just stop with the seasons. Even if you want to say seasons, fine, but
chapter.
But even once you get the first 6 episodes in and you can binge them through, you should already be by the time you are doing those 6 episodes, let's say it's a 12 or 13, 12 episode series, and let's say they release in September, right? They should have the next 6 episodes done by January, February to be able to release them at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then it's after that, all right, you take your couple months off, you start working on the next season,
That would be a good thing, I think, especially for the CW series, since the crossover event happens midway through each of their seasons. It's why not just show the first half all at once?
Right.
And then do the crossover as a movie event one night. I think would be better than 1, 2, 3 in a row to being serious with the shows and then start the shows again after that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean,
just, when people think TV movie, they usually think shitty things like Hallmark or made for TV movies that were always B-rated and ended up on Sci-Fi and stuff like that. But I would rather have
you just call it a 2.5 hour or 3 hour event. You don't call it a movie. You call it a 3-hour event. Oh, the massive crossover event. It's kind of what they should have been doing from the beginning.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's funny because they're all using the Ryan Reynolds picture like all the different ads and everything
For what? Oh,
for the Green Lantern show,
thing?
like the news, they're all using the. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
why would you?
Why would you use that?
Well, I mean, HBO's not the ones writing it, so
Yeah,
and I'm sure users are looking at it. They're going to be more interested in clicking on that image
It's
than a
clickbait.
cartoon image. Yeah,
yeah, it's 100% clickbait.
I've hit so much clickbait recently, like, and we talked about it a little bit last week with Superman, like
Yeah,
Tom Welling in the suit and stuff, and it's always like
it's always fan. It's always,
and everyone I've seen, it's always been him dressed up as Clark Kent, but on the farm with the other Clark Kent and Lois Lane,
right?
And like, speaking of, so Erica, Lois Lane from Smallville is signed on to the crossover,
Of course,
but Michael Rosenbaum is not.
Yeah, which I'm still.
Which we don't. Maybe it'll be a surprise.
Yeah,
But regardless, it's all clickbait, and I hate clickbait.
yeah.
At least what I've been starting to see now, though, is I saw something today about McDonald's covering up one of their locations with a white sheet and wrote Burger King on it as a Halloween prank.
Yeah.
And when I actually opened it up, because I was tired of seeing it for the last week,
Right.
it said at the very top, "This is a dated article. Please make sure you read the date before reading." And it was from 2016.
Oh my god.
So, but things like that, I've read multiple times, and I've never seen one of those. Like, one of the time when I click on those little image news stories from like Facebook, the first thing I do is I always check the date, because I've seen so many stories that are like from 2013, 15, and you're like, all right, you're just bringing it up because it's a current topic again.
Right.
But it's not new.
Right.
Clickbait. It's awful.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I tell you all the time, like I keep getting into these things because the shitty part is that they don't put in, like, especially when it comes to like a character design or like the suit designs or whatever, like the Tom Welling in a suit, like blah 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 blah. Like in the fucking art, in the headlines of the articles, they don't say, "Oh, buy it, fan made by an artist." It'll say it in the first line of it, but I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit.
Okay.
Like, and like,
at least if you're gonna clickbait me, do it like the respectable websites that say, "Don't worry, this is all one article, not multiple pages where you have to keep hitting next and next and next and next." Like, just put it on one loadable page.
No, because they can't, because it's
too many advertisements. Won't fit on the page.
They need the click. They need the goddamn click. They need you to be clicking from page to page to page to page to page.
To new advertisements, new pop-ups.
Yep, because the more clicks they have, the more things. So you have to click and click and click, and that's why they have the stupid thumbnail ones with the pictures. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I can't stand it. I keep getting, there's a bunch of them, especially with the whole crossover thing. They all know, like all of them, comicbook.com, they're all shit. They're all pieces of shit. Screen Rant, like they all do it. It sucks. And it's like non-articles. Like they don't say, they either don't say anything.
And they're horribly well written. I mean, not horribly well. I mean, they're horribly written. There's so many grammar mistakes, misspelled words, double words. Like it'll be like the.
Because you just submit. It's just people who submit. They get hired and they just submit. They have to submit
a whole. They write it on their phone.
They have to buy it. They have to do like 1 billion of them a week to make any money. Well, not 1 billion, but they do. You know, whatever it is they do, and they have to be clickable, and that's how they get paid. And it sucks. I got lumped into one today about the Flash. And it was like, oh, this character is finally coming to the Flash. And it was about the last episode. I don't know. Have you been watching the Flash? No. The last episode, they made like the whole time Ralph has been on this missing persons case, and it's from day one. It's leading up to being Sue Dibney. It's leading up to being his wife. And that's all the article was about. It was about this confirmed that Sue Dibney's going to be on the show. It's like, no shit, Sue Dibney's going to be on the show. Like, what are you talking about? It confirmed it. We've known from day one. Like, if you've watched any of these shows, if they make a comic book reference to something, they plan on putting it in the show. If they mention anything from those comics, it's a foreshadowing to something that will probably appear in the show. And Ralph coming back and being like, oh, I was on this case for Sue blah, 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 Darby or whatever her last name originally is. Like, that's the first thing he says when he shows up in the first episode. is where he was and who he was trying to find. And it's been a reoccurring thing for the past 5 episodes. If he's on this case while he's doing the shit with them. Like, or he was on the case the whole summer and all this shit. Like, of course they're bringing her into this. Like, did you think that all other episodes were not? Like, it was, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that was a fucking article today.
Some people have to like those kind of articles, though. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. I mean, of course they're gonna be there because they bring in money, but there's definitely people out there that click that and they want to go to their friends and be like, "Did you hear this? I know something you don't." And then because someone like you is gonna say, "Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I can tell what's happening, but I was able to confirm it." Because
that article wasn't for the everyday person. It was a comic book page article. Does that and it wasn't designed of like, oh, guess who's coming, blah blah blah, who doesn't know it's this Flash person's gonna be in the show, and wait for this to come. You can't wait till you see this comic book person. At least
they could have picked the actress and put her name in there and been like, confirmed. Here's what's her name.
We have no one has any idea. She's not. She's not on there. To write the article. It's dumb. Like, you could have said that on episode 1, not about fucking this most recent episode. And it pissed me off because it was about this most recent episode. It was not about episode 1 of the season. So it wasn't even one of those ones that you're talking about where it's like, oh, I forgot to click it and blah, 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 or missed the date or whatever. Like, it wasn't even one of those. That's what pissed me off so much about that fucking thing.
Clickbait.
Ugh. Hate it. Hate it. Anyone who's watching this who writes for those companies, fuck you. Sorry.
Also hit me up. We might need you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cool they released it. I'm kind of upset that they haven't released any other information about it, or as far as the Green Lantern is concerned. Back to that.
Yeah, but I don't mind waiting. If it's done right, I'll be happy with it. I mean, I will say this. The one thing that Ryan Reynolds did in Deadpool, where everyone was like, "Ha, what a jab.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a green."
Yeah, animated suit.
Did we talk about this last episode or not? But
no.
What else are you going to do? We did talk about it?
No, we talked about this at lunch the other day.
What else are you going to do? You just going to give him a black spandex suit with green material on it? Like, he's a space character.
Yeah.
You're really not going to make the suit light up. I mean, his power ring is neon green and it shoots a clear neon green.
I think they're going to just
there has to be something CGI about the suit.
Yeah, I think but that's going to be more so the glow and all that stuff.
I mean, it didn't have to be as overdone as they did it in the Green Lantern movie, but I don't know. I didn't think it looked stupid.
I mean, I don't know. I rewatched that movie not too long ago. I don't know, within the last 5 years probably. And it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty dumb. Yeah. It does not look great.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
For the times.
I mean,
they were probably like, ago. Look at our tech, look at what we can do.
Yeah.
Excited. I mean, Abin Sur looked pretty good.
That I will give them. Abin Sur did look really good.
You know, I don't know what I'm saying, but I imagine there's going to be some CGI part of the suit, whether it's the emblem or the shoulder pieces. I don't know.
No, I agree with you, and there has to be.
Yeah, you can't just have it like Oliver Queen's CW suit is green leather, but you can only tell it's green in daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know you're Arrow, not Green Arrow.
Right.
Oh, but now you're Green Arrow, but your suit's still really dark.
Right.
Obviously, because you don't want to be bright green in the middle of the night trying to...
Right.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think that we will get probably a practical suit and then just using the effects for just like I said, just like the aura that they're supposed to have around them and that kind of stuff. So you'll see that. I actually think they could pull a practical suit off pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm sure they could too. It doesn't need to be crazy, but I mean, I imagine it's not going to be Earth-based. If it is, not all the time. No, it can't be. I mean, it can have parts of it.
Yeah, but he's a space cop. He's got a big Spectre.
Sector.
Not Spectre.
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 But yeah, I mean, so I'm interested. I think hopefully it turns out good. But speaking of suits, I know you haven't caught up on the Batwoman show, but they did give her the suit.
Yeah.
I finished the 4 episodes that are out there right now.
It's 4. So I'm behind on 2 because I didn't watch the Hush episode and I didn't watch whatever this last week was. Magpie,
I think is what it was. I don't.
There's a new one coming out tonight.
Yeah. So all they did for the suit though was when making her the new suit, they put a stencil over the and spray painted it pink for the bat on the chest. So it's still the same suit, but the cowl is obviously a little different. It doesn't have the Christopher Nolan fat cheeks.
Yeah. So it is the suit from everything we've seen so far, as far as the pictures.
Which is weird too, because in that episode, someone breaks in and steals the suit, and then throws in by someone. I mean, I think it's Alice Tetch does it.
Okay.
And then puts it in a mannequin and throws it out of a window and goes, "This is your Batman," like for people to see, like, you know, not indestructible or something like that.
Right.
So they basically have to make her a new suit, and it's the same suit, just and then like slightly different here and stuff.
Oh my god!
But that show is awful.
Really? It's getting bad?
It's just such bad acting in it.
Yeah.
From every character. Even the police dad, who's been in a lot of things, or like the cop dad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's not terrible, but everyone in the show is overacting. It's insane for a show that's coming off the heels of Arrow, which has had, for the most part, very good acting. There have been some...
It gets soapy.
Yeah. But I mean, actor-wise.
Yeah.
But this show is like very soapy.
Yeah, it's not great.
And
Ruby Rose is not good.
I hope that it gets better, that they grow with the show.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't drastically change, including the storyline so far, I don't see it getting picked up for another season.
Yeah, really. It's been that bad. Yeah, so far everything that I've seen in the first 2, Ruby Rose, she's cool and all, but not really great in this show.
She's not doing too bad when she's dressed up as Batwoman, mainly because they don't speak much.
Yeah.
But as her side character of Ruby Rose, her real identity, she's not doing a very good job of acting.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't given her the chance to yet because it's very choppy.
Yeah.
The whole storyline so far.
But even like when I hear her just in different scenes.
The best actor on that show is her adopted Asian sister.
Yeah.
Who plays being a bratty sorority girl, drunk, not smart person who's a doctor.
Right.
In secret. Basically, or a med student.
But, yeah, she's a med student who's helping people in secret.
Yeah, so she's actually the best actor on the show because she's able to pull off both of these characters.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, nothing. That show just isn't. I don't know. It's part of the reason why I haven't watched it in the past 3 weeks. Just because it's kind of a rough watch. You're trying to go through all of it and actually watch it. You're just like, oh, this is not great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep up with it because still another 4 or 8 weeks till the thing. But
yeah, let's stick with it. I mean, there hasn't been many shows in my life that I've turned off and decided not to watch.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Right.
Unless it was a show that's been out and canceled, and I'm going back now. Oh, I missed the show, and I'm like, I don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? The 100.
I heard that was really good, though.
The show was good, and then it got fucking stupid.
Did it really?
Yeah, I would have preferred that they kept the Tomorrow People going, or not? Was it not the Tomorrow People or the 4400? The missing people that came back, and then they had superpowers.
I think it's Tomorrow People.
No, actually, I think it's the 4400.
Maybe the 4400. I don't know.
Something like that. But that show, because it had one of the characters in it from the 100, I think.
Mm.
So it had Robbie from The Flash.
That's the Tomorrow People.
Okay, then that show was canceled after the first season.
Okay.
That show should have kept going. It had promise.
Did it?
I could see it turning into something much more well done, but also they started putting on a bunch of superhero shows.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it really
yeah.
wouldn't have fit. I mean, it would have fit perfectly, but it also would have been against what they were putting out because it's not. I don't think it's a comic book property.
Yeah, but they're
also, I think that show ended way before Arrow started. I don't know.
No, I think that was around the time Flash, because I think he left Flash to go do Tomorrow People. I think that was one of the things that, or maybe he left to go do something else. I don't know. I could be wrong.
But I don't know. The Tomorrow People deserved more, and that show wasn't the best either.
Yeah,
but I didn't watch that show until after it was canceled.
Yeah, you definitely
it was
get
on Netflix a while back.
Yeah, it's on the CWC now as well.
Garbage app.
It really is a bad app.
That app tells you that current shows aren't current shows. Like the Legends of Tomorrow,
right,
does not show up on current programs. It shows up on previous programs.
That's so weird.
Because it's currently airing right now, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it was canceled.
No.
Okay, so then why is it not listed as a current airing project?
I don't know.
It's a bad app, and there's 18 million commercials per episode.
Yo, that is the worst. Every freaking commercial break, it's like 14 commercials. It's so bad.
It's worse than Hulu.
Yeah.
The defining trait that Hulu has is when you watch a movie, you get no ads. But when you watch a TV show, you get a bunch of ads.
Yeah.
CW doesn't do that. They just have a bunch of ads.
Yeah, they're just like, nah, you can go fuck yourself. Here's 30,000 ads in your 45-minute show. It's so bad. They're one of the worst with that. Fucking Warner Brothers. They're so bad at that. Yes, they got a show coming on as well that they announced for next year. What's it called? It's called Superman and Lois.
What a bad title. It doesn't flow. It doesn't come off the tongue. Like Lois and Clark fell off the tongue, but only because we grew up with Lewis and Clark, the explorers.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah, but like it flows off the tongue. It's like so many other things that flow off the tongue that the main person isn't always first. Like Nelson and Murdoch.
Right.
It's not Matt Murdock and
Murdoch
and Nelson because it doesn't sound as good. But so Superman and Lois. Ugh.
It sounds so bad. It sounds so bad, that name. Because even when I heard it, I was just like, wait, that's the name? You're not just naming the characters? I'm like, oh, okay. Really gonna go with that.
I mean, at least in this show, we're bound to get some action. If you remember Lois and Clark, there was almost 0% action scenes. It would show him putting on the suit and disappearing and coming back.
No, there was a lot of action.
Not a lot.
They weren't good.
I'd say about 5% of the entire show was action.
They weren't good action scenes. That's probably it's because you don't remember any of them because they were shit 90s action.
But I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer had better action scenes, and that was on at the same time.
Not so great. I rewatched.
Better. I didn't say good. I said better.
No, Lois and Clark came out earlier than Buffy, I believe. Maybe they came out at the same time.
I think there at some point in their life they were airing at the same time.
Probably. Fucking Dean Cain. Yeah, I don't know. And they're doing this whole thing. It's like them. They got pregnant, and it's them raising a family.
Well, they did that in the last season of Supergirl. They left at the end of the show and went to a red sun planet so that she could have a baby. And told Kara that Kara. It should be Kara. But they told Kara that she was in charge, that she had to protect the Earth alone without Superman.
Huh.
So they're either going to have to come back to Earth and it's going to be a campy show about raising a superpower baby. Or it's going to be them living on a red planet where Superman doesn't have powers, but he is still who he is, so has to be a good guy somewhere.
Both of those sound like garbage.
Yes, they do. In fact, the first one sounds like it should be on WB's Saturday morning cartoon shows, like with the Animaniacs.
Yeah. And the second one just sounds like because then like why?
The second one sounds like Krypton.
Yeah, like
which
why?
I've never watched.
Why even have a Superman show at that point then if you're not gonna have him with powers? They're not doing that.
Well, I mean, it's just because he's there and he doesn't have powers doesn't mean he can't get his powers by because they're in a space colony. They're on another planet that's more advanced. He could go off world and protect and do things. I'm reaching here. Come on.
You're definitely reaching.
I mean, I'm not looking forward to this, but I'm going to give at least some sort of defense if no one else will.
No, it's going to be bad.
Of course it will.
It's going to be real bad.
And no offense to Tyler Hoechlin, or however you pronounce his last name. He's just not my Superman.
Yeah.
He's not a bad Clark Kent. He's not a bad Superman. Maybe it's just the way the suit that they gave him in Supergirl is awful.
Awful.
That I can't see him as Superman.
He looks like, you know what? It's like they did the suit from Injustice is kind of what they modeled that off of. It looks like, and it doesn't look good. It really doesn't.
The girl or actress playing Lois Lane, I don't dislike her, but to me, she's not a Lois Lane. To me, a good, perfect Lois Lane is the animated voice for Lois Lane in a lot of the movies, which is what's her name from Criminal Minds in the beginning. She was one of the Criminal Minds agents.
I don't remember.
But, you know, she's not by any means the prettiest.
Right.
But she's got balls. She's got the voice of Lois that you remember growing up, like from the Christopher Reeves movies. Like,
right.
You know, she's believable as a ballsy reporter.
Right.
Like Erica Durance, she was a good Lois Lane because she was super good looking.
Yeah.
But she didn't give you
that
you were a ballsy reporter
vibe.
Vibe.
No, not at all. I mean, they kind of tried doing that towards the end of that, but not so much. Definitely not so much. I don't know. I mean, it could be done right. It could be cool. But it also, it's like, I don't know, like, you have, like, it just...
Paget Brewster. That's her name.
I don't know.
I'll show you.
Look like? Show me a picture of it, and I'll pop one up on here. Oh, okay. I know who she is.
But she voices Lois Lane in more than one of the animated movies.
Yeah.
Just like, Michael Rosenbaum has voiced multiple like Flashes.
Yeah.
Like, she's been known to voice. Even I think she did Wonder Woman at one point too.
Huh.
But yeah, she also did a hit episode of Drunk History.
Ooh.
I think she did 2 episodes of Drunk History actually.
Oh boy.
I was like, you're respectable. And you're going on Drunk. I love you. I love you and your weird name, Paget. Brewster. Like, I feel like that's got to be a made up name, and she was younger, trying to become an actress, and was obsessed with
Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster was like, that's my last name, and I used to go to pageants all the time. I got it. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Paget. There's no way you're gonna ever see this. But.
No, never. Yeah,
probably not saying her name correctly either. That seems like a weird name, Paget.
Probably more likely the case.
Yeah.
Paget. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they all do well, but it just, I don't know. It just sounds. The whole show.
That's the difference between us and a lot of other people. Is what you just said. I hope they do well.
Yeah. It really is.
So many critics out there, and so many people, all they want is for things to fail so they can write a scathing review and be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We still want it to succeed. Even if it's not good, I still hope it. Why would you want it to be bad?
Even if it's not my thing, whatever. Like,
I don't go to a restaurant knowing I'm not going to like and go, I hope it sucks.
No, I'm happy that it all exists. I take a Kevin Smith approach to it of just like, I'm just happy it's here and it's there. Like, I'm just happy this shit is real and exists, and we could say we even got one of those shows.
It's like your parents going, all right, let's go to this place for dinner. We're, for our anniversary. And you're like, ugh, I had terrible food last time I was there. You still go, and you hope it's good.
Exactly. 100%.
You don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, no, people are fucking too crazy nowadays. And you see it so, like, and it's just, everyone wants to hate everything. You see it with Star Wars, you see it with comic books right now. It's like, Jesus, just shut the hell up. It's all good. Just be happy it exists. And they didn't get it this time, they'll get it the next time. Like,
or they won't do anything with it ever again, and then you can just be happy that you don't have to see it ever again. For those people that are constantly hoping things suck. Because not every time they mess it up will they do it again.
true. That's true.
Oh.
What?
Speaking of clickbait from the past,
Okay.
something popped up in my head that I wanted to mention before. We don't have to spend time on it, though.
All right.
But one of the clickbait articles that I've seen all over the place now is Edward Norton's Hulk mentioned in Endgame.
Was it really?
In the movie, the first Hulk movie with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
The first Marvel Hulk movie.
Right.
Because the other Hulk movie was not Marvel.
Right.
We had this discussion.
Yes, we did.
He gets injured by Abomination in the chest.
Right.
I think Abomination grabs him and rips something out. And there's a scene in Endgame where he has a scar, or in Ragnarok where he has a scar on his chest. So all the articles are saying Easter egg everyone missed about Edward Norton's Hulk in Ragnarok, not Endgame. I had that wrong. And then you pull it up and you scroll all the way through first because you're always looking for the picture before you read the article to see if it's bullshit. No picture. And then you go back up and you skim and you're like, there's a scar in his chest that was there from. And you're like, that's not an Easter egg. That's continuity.
Yeah, like,
and it's not even worth mentioning Edward Norton. Like, fuck you.
oh my god, that's ridiculous. That's a whole lot of bullshit. I haven't heard one that bad in a long time. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not news at all. Like you said, it's continuity. Like, that's not even an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's annoying. Hey. Have you watched The Watchmen at all yet?
No.
I still haven't either.
That's
another one,
Showtime, right?
Yeah. No, it's HBO.
Oh, it is HBO.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be Showtime.
No, I believe it's HBO. It has to be HBO. No, it has to be HBO because HBO is, I believe, owned by Warner Brothers. Or no, they're owned by AT&T.
I'm surprised it's not on. Well, I'm not surprised. Never mind. That was a stupid thing to say. The DC app is going away anyway.
It's getting brought into. Yeah, it's HBO. It's getting brought into the.
Which means do I still have to pay for it?
Well, no. You're at your whatever. If you're paying for it, it would get lumped in with WB's thing.
Let's keep in mind that WB or that DC universe was $80 for the year.
Jesus Christ.
So far, not worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
One
paid.
season of Swamp Thing. That was the only reason I got it, by the way, was for Swamp Thing.
Really?
Yeah. That was the only reason, because I was like, some shows are really hard to find and stream online.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that was going to be one of them. So I was like, I'm not going to go around and try to illegally or stream it or do whatever like I do for a lot of other things.
Right.
But so I was like, I'll pay for this one. Just like I pay for I got Disney Plus coming. You know, I pay for these things. I'm not a fucking 19-year-old scumbag anymore looking for LimeWire, you know?
Yeah.
But so I paid for it and I was like, all right, Swamp Thing is coming. I know that there's going to be some comic books on there. There's going to be all the other old previous stuff, the cartoons, Injustice, or Young Justice. But they're not releasing enough content quick enough to make it worth it.
Not at all.
Especially since Swamp Thing was canceled.
Not at all. Because they're just getting on to the second season of Teen Titans.
Which is so boring. I know you didn't watch the last 2 episodes.
Nope.
Episode from last week, Jericho.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Actual fight scenes with Deathstroke.
Awesome.
And we see Jericho die. Not a spoiler for you. You read the comics. Right. This episode was the most boring episode of all the seasons.
Jesus, really?
No fighting, no costumes, no nothing. everyone quits the Titans and leaves Gar at the building to wait for Connor to wake up. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god.
And then Connor wakes up and, antagonizes the cops at the end because he doesn't know any better. And then it basically, Gar's like, I messed up. I don't know what to do. Calling Dick.
What did they wind up like save? What is it? I'm assuming it's like they bust in and save Connor or something from something. Like that's how they find him.
They saved Connor because he got shot when he was saving. You didn't watch that one either?
Okay.
When Robin was thrown off the building?
No, I didn't see that much that one either.
Connor saved him.
Okay.
So that's how they shot him with a kryptonite bullet, whoever was chasing Connor. And then the Titans helped save him.
Okay.
So he's been asleep for the last 2 episodes, basically.
Okay.
So it has its moments of like, awesome for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes per episode.
Right.
But to me, that's not worth the whole episode all the time. Sometimes it is. Yeah. Sometimes the storyline is there. Sometimes it isn't. This episode, by the time it was over, I was like, if John sees this, he might finally understand my perspective on this show. Because I like the show, but it's so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't felt that it was boring, but then again, I also haven't watched the last 3 episodes or 4 episodes, so...
The Jericho episode was the best episode by far. And in this entire second season so far, Gar, I feel bad for the actor. He's barely been in it. He has not changed once yet in this entire second season. Nor has he been in the field. He's been locked in the tower with Raven this entire time. Except Raven has shown off her powers because she can't control them.
Right. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, poor kid was like one of the highlights of the first season.
Yeah.
And now he's just... We have Jason Todd.
Yeah, I don't...
We have Connor Kent.
Yeah, that's so weird, especially because he is like a pretty...
But he was the focus of this episode, kind of helping Connor, but he still hasn't changed. He did a little face thing to show Connor. He's like, look what I can do. He's like, I can turn into a tiger. And Connor was like, awesome. What's a tiger? So he was like, they're in public. So he's like,
yeah.
And like kind of warps his face just a little bit, not even to a full tiger face. And then he's like, that's cool. And then he attacks the police.
He hasn't turned into anything but a tiger, right?
Correct. He has not figured that out. But from what I remember of the trailers for this second season, he was turning into other things.
Huh.
I remember seeing a snake, and I think I remember seeing like a hawk or some kind.
Yeah, that's weird. He hasn't figured that out.
And stuff. So he's not even turned into one thing yet this season.
That's right. I wonder.
At least, I don't think so, because there was that one where him and Robin went to find Deathstroke on their own, but I don't think he turned then in that episode where Jason got kidnapped.
I wonder if they're going to cross over with Doom Patrol again.
I kind of thought they were, because everyone quit the Titans, and he was like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm the only one left in the tower.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go back to Doom Patrol. But...
Because like they never address, because like even in the show, I've been kind of confused. Like when I watched Doom Patrol, I was like, I don't know, does this happen before or after Titans, or maybe it's just it happens at some point in between, like the points that we don't see, kind of thing. Because Doom Patrol happens over years, so it's like, all right, well maybe the Titans episode happens probably before technically the show actually begins, kind of thing. Because you see, I think that's just the first episode. You see how far the years span and whatnot. I'd like to see them crossover again. It'd be kind of weird though. I would have to say it would be a little weird, just because like that is such a weird show. I love it, but it's fucking weird. But I wouldn't mind seeing them cross over again.
Now that I think about it, though, also you're gonna watch this newer episode and you're not gonna hate it, because there are so many key points in the story of this episode.
Okay.
Like Dick meets up with Slade.
Okay.
At his wife's house or his son's mom's house, and they don't fight, but they talk. and then he basically tells him, if you ever get the Titans back together, I will murder every one of you. So there's a lot of cool things like dialogue that happen.
Right.
There's not to say that dialogue couldn't have been in an episode that still had more things going on.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Because I'm
also confused on Hawk and Dove.
What do you mean?
But you were also going to say something that I just got you off.
No, it's all right. What are you confused on Hawk and Dove about?
So in the first season of Hawk and Dove, or in the first season of Titans,
yeah,
Hawk and Dove, you find them and they find each other from a grief counseling.
Right.
And they go and confront his childhood rapist, the coach.
Right.
And in this season, they're showing that Dick and Dove were together while Hawk was on the team and that they knew each other. But in the first season, they met each other at group counseling and started dating.
Yeah. I was weirded out by that as well. So wait, so they went more into the backstory, like the past stuff and showing them in the past than what they've shown?
No, that was the first season. I'm just comparing it to this season.
No, I'm talking about in season 2. So in season 2, because they did the flashbacks to the original Titans with the Donna Troy stuff,
and they're both on the team.
Yeah, but it wasn't that they didn't know each other.
Yeah, but they were on the team and they were friends while she was dating Dick. But when they're in grief counseling, they start dating immediately. And that's how they become Hawk and Dove. Yeah. So had they went from dating each other as Hawk and Dove to being Titans where she dates Dick and they're both cool with this relationship to being off of Titans and then back together? That's a part of the story that they didn't tell us anything. So to me, it seems like they shot the first season and then we're like, all right, we're going to do this and hopefully nobody notices.
Well, because I'll tell you why no. Because they make a thing about it in the first season that her and Dick were a thing at one point. It's a constant issue, that they were a thing at one point. So,
they made it seem like in the first season that they didn't know anything about each other. Like, she didn't know that he was out there beating people up every night. And she didn't do any of that stuff until she learned it from him. That's my recollection of the first season.
You're talking about for Dick and Dove, or
no, for Hawk and Dove?
Right, that all happens, but they also say in the not in the flashbacks for them, but in the present time, they comment on the fact that Dick and Dove were an item at one point, so it would have had to have been during the Titans.
Yeah, so it sounds like they decided to make a change in the second season and work around it and hope that people didn't look too much into it.
No, because they made no, not at all. That was in the first season. The first season, that's why Hank doesn't like Dick. Because they were a thing.
I thought nobody liked Dick because they killed what's his name? What I just said. Slade's son.
Jericho.
Because that's why nobody likes him.
That's how they did it in this? They killed Jericho. They had Dick kill Jericho in this?
Well, no. Slade killed him. But all because Dick was forcing them to use this kid. None of them wanted to use him.
Yeah. But there's a whole thing. Aside from that, but there's a whole other thing.
My point of view is from someone who never read any of the Titans comics and has no background on it. It seemed a little haphazard and oops, we did something to make a story sound good here, and now it's.
No, I think you just missed the points because throughout the whole of season 1,
you're gonna make me rewatch a show that I think is super boring. Great. Thanks a lot, John.
You're welcome. No, I think you're just missing those because those were things before we knew about all the Slade and stuff like that. They specifically talk about how Dick and Dove were a thing at some point, and that's why Hank doesn't like him and has it. And it's like, oh, what? Why are you with Dick? Huh? What are you doing? So
I love that actor.
Yeah.
He's great.
He is so real good
on that football show. Hilarious. But he was a good Aquaman too.
Yeah. He's good in the show. I like her as Dove in the show. She's good. I hope we get to see a Barbara Gordon at some point.
Yeah, I feel like Oracle was in the first season of Titans.
She definitely was.
Yeah. And now
But we never
she's
saw her.
nowhere. Yeah, but now she's nowhere. She's not mentioned. She's not being helpful.
Yeah. That was weird. I did notice that. We haven't heard anything from Oracle at all. Because she definitely was in the first season.
I think she was only in the first episode or two.
Yeah.
And it was mainly just on comms and then on cell phones.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope we get to see it. Maybe we will. I don't know. All fucking speculation.
Yeah.
I still gotta watch like 4 episodes of that show anyway.
Still want something to come back.
Yeah, probably not gonna.
Nope.
That's upsetting. Still haven't watched that either.
Something was one of my favorite characters growing up.
Yeah? Swamp Thing?
Until I met the X-Men.
True. Because, everyone loves the X-Men.
Yeah. Until I met Apocalypse. I've been thinking about it a lot over the years, trying to figure out who my favorite villain is nowadays. Because it used to be Apocalypse, and I think I'm leaning mostly towards Magneto, which is such a common answer, but he's really just so good. Such a good character.
Yeah.
And Sinister.
Sinister is a weird one. I never understood what the hell his powers were.
He doesn't really have powers. He was a human who genetically modified himself and got powers.
Right.
But what he does is he experiments on mutants, so he has a lot of different powers, essentially, because he's introduced his, genes with so many different things. But yeah, it's a little. I've never looked too much into his powers, but just his character, how smart he is, and he's not doing anything. Actually, I should say, why the older that we get, the more we relate to the villains.
Right.
When you think about it, Magneto is only a villain because of his, activism, basically, and taking it to extremes. Apocalypse believes in only the strong survive.
Right.
And he's essentially trying to set up a world where all the weak is gone.
Right.
And there's nothing left but the strong. So he's not trying to destroy the world or take over the world. He just wants mutants specifically, though, to come to their full power and realization and survive.
Right.
Ultimately, not a terrible idea, but execution is a whole nother story.
Of course.
And Sinister is in the pursuit of science. He's trying to create the perfect being. He's trying to eliminate diseases and do all these other things, but he doesn't care about who gets hurt in the process.
Right. Interesting.
So, I feel like at least a lot of the Marvel villains you become as you older, you relate more to. I can't speak on terms of DC. Like I don't know what Darkseid's endgame is. Isn't it just destruction?
No. His is the anti-life equation, which basically puts all life under his control.
Okay, so he wants to rule everything.
Yeah, control everything. Like it's almost similar, kind of like the hive mind. Like it's where his consciousness would spread throughout everything. That's one of his things. It's kind of what the anti-life equation does. It basically just gives him complete control over all living life.
Gotcha. And Thanos, as we all know, at least this version of Thanos from the movies, he wants half of the universe's population to end because there's too much.
Right.
Like, we look at our own world right now and we see that we have too much population as it is to sustain our current way of life.
Well, it's a utilitarian philosophy. It's the idea of just do the least amount of harm, like try to do the least amount of harm or whatever it is.
So you cut off half of everything living in the universe, and that universe is going to rebuild itself. And they even talked about it in Endgame when Black Widow is moaning and crying and making a peanut butter sandwich, and Captain America walks in and he goes, "Well, I saw a school of whales in the Hudson." She's like, "You're trying to tell me to look at the bright side of this?" Yeah. And he's like, "Well, less people, less boats, less pollution, cleaner water."
They actually
and they kind of prove that in a dark and twisted way that Thanos' actions led to the survival ultimately, or the longevity
Right.
of our planet.
Yeah, they actually someone had a scientist who deals with, I forget who it was. They were talking about it. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson maybe on his show, and I don't remember which episode it was specifically, but they had a scientist who like all they do is study those types of things, and like they study like how systems, and I forget what it was. What type of scientist she was, but basically she's like, yeah, this would pretty much work. They're like, if that actually happened, they're like, it would drastically, like, say, like, if it was this country, like, it drastically improve everything in this in the world.
Like, I mean, even, and I know these are movies and everything, but even when you look at movies like I Am Legend,
yeah,
or any zombie TV show or movies, when you see cities, like 5 years after the city's been abandoned, there's trees growing, like, there's vines going through everything, like, Earth is taking back over.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
No, not at all.
But if we constantly are tearing it down, then it's never going to reburn.
Right.
Rebuild. And that is why, as we get older, seeing things from the villain's perspective becomes easier. As a child, you look at Magneto and Apocalypse and even Thanos and stuff, and you're like, these are the bad guys. They kill people. Go heroes.
Right.
But then, you know, it's like, what do they believe in? Why are they making these decisions?
Yeah.
Now, are they right? No. But now you're old enough to understand it.
I agree with that. You definitely don't get that as a kid. You just think, bad guy, bad.
Yeah. But then you're also supposed to think, like, the Punisher, good.
Yeah.
When all he does is murder the bad.
True.
He's still the good guy.
He is. That's also a much more adult comic versus anything else. Like the Punisher is. You're not giving your kid the Punisher.
If you saw the video that we posted on our Facebook today,
I didn't watch
about the X-Men and how it changed cartoons.
Really?
Apparently, I was watching it, and apparently Fox wanted it to be just another Saturday morning campy cartoon.
Yeah.
And Marvel fought for it to be more like the comics and talk about real life issues. You know, the segregation of mutants.
Yeah.
And they basically said that Xavier, you could say, was Martin Luther King, and Magneto was Malcolm X.
Yeah, well, that was the comparisons when X-Men first came out.
And so, but because Marvel continued to make real issues and talk about, you know, just like they did in the comics, but put it on the screen instead of making it campy and having like a sidekick dog. Like they did for a long time with like Batman and Superman and Scooby-Doo and stuff like that. That and Batman the Animated Series are the two cartoons that kind of paved the way for a lot of the media that we see.
I could see that.
Allowing change and allowing controversial topics. So what you're saying is The Punisher was for an older audience, yes. But then they put The Punisher in the Spider-Man animated show for a few episodes.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't kill anyone because it was a Spider-Man show. But that show came after X-Men.
Yes, it did.
And so they were able to start putting... There's no way you could have put The Punisher on Scooby-Doo and Friends.
No.
You know?
That'd be batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Or awesome.
Well, I mean, it would be stupid because it wouldn't be the Punisher. It would just be some guy dressed like him that was like, let's have some Scooby snacks and get rid of the bad guys with my balloon rocket launcher.
Yeah, it would.
I don't know what my point was. Just,
I don't know. I don't know where you were going with that either. It's all good. I totally forgot what we were even talking about. We were talking about the X-Men.
Talking about villains.
I don't
remember what we were talking about before I went off on that rant, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I've always been a villain guy.
Yeah, me
even
not
as a
so
kid.
Much. I always like my heroes. I don't know. Even in games, I don't like playing the bad guy.
The villains, as a child, always had cooler powers.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I'm a little fucked up.
Right.
So I gravitated more towards the villains. I guarantee, and we talked about this once before, that if the Venom symbiote or something like that came down here and it got its hooks into me, I would probably be a villain. I would not be out saving the world. Yeah.
No one who thinks that they're gonna
do ultimate good.
No, anyone.
They're all lying to themselves.
Yeah, anyone who thinks that if they get superpowers, they're gonna be the good guy. You're lying.
You're lying. Good things, but you're also gonna do selfish.
You're also gonna do selfish, shitty things. You're gonna go in anybody tells me if they get the power of teleportation right now, they're not immediately teleporting into a bank and stealing all the cash they have.
Yeah.
There's no way. Invisibility, there's no way you're not stealing everything you want.
I wouldn't teleport into a bank.
Why not?
Because I don't know where I would land if I can't see where I'm going.
That's assuming that power is like Nightcrawlers and you have to see where you're going.
But if all I knew was things like that, I would be scared. It wouldn't be the first thing I did, basically. I'd be testing it out first.
Oh, yeah. No, maybe not the first thing you do, but 100%. If you're fucking invisible.
That's a scary thing to test. Because even if you were testing it with, like, an above-ground pool.
Right.
Or, like, from the kitchen to your living room, you could still end up inside that wall when you reappear and basically be dead. If you reappear with it halfway through you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
That's a hard skill to learn.
I would imagine it probably would be.
There was something that I wanted, actually, now I'm thinking about it, to discuss, and it had to do with powers and what we would do.
Ooh.
But I can't fucking think of it right now.
Well, you suck.
No, it was about being the good guy.
Okay.
Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Yes.
I watched 2 animated movies today. Justice League War.
It's a good one.
No, I skipped Justice League War because I had seen it so many times. I did Superman Unbound, and I did Public Enemies, Batman, Superman.
Batman, Superman, Public Enemies is real good. Superman Unbound, I don't remember.
That one, not the best. It was about Brainiac. And Superman saves Kandor.
I do remember that one.
It was good, but it wasn't the best. I didn't like...
Yeah, it wasn't a great one.
Both of those movies, I didn't care for the animation too much. Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, I did not like the animation. But regardless, it brings me to Billy Batson.
Yes.
Billy Batson is supposed to be the ultimate good.
Yes.
But he's constantly thieving. So in Justice League War, because I had watched a little bit of it before I turned it off and decided not to watch it, I got to the point where he goes to the football game.
Right.
And lies to get in.
So I'll give you a reason as to why.
And then he steals the jersey.
Yeah.
And even in the movie, like, but these are all very little things.
So the reason in Justice League War he's like that is because they've changed his story when they did the New 52.
That was a movie based on the New 52.
Yeah.
Origins.
But the whole idea was that, the wizard has to do someone of pure good or whatever it is that they want. Like, it has to be the purest of hearts. And that's what it always was his story and how he becomes Shazam or Captain Marvel or whatever. In the New 52, when they updated it, they have that. And it's like, oh, Billy Batson, whatever. And they pull Billy Batson and maybe you're the one and blah, blah, blah. And the wizard's like, yeah, no, you're not good enough. You're not pure good. We can't. You're done. And like, midway, he's like, all right, cool, I'm out of here. This is fucking weird anyway. And I guess he like turned around and goes, but like, nobody's pure good. Like, you are literally gonna be waiting here forever to find a pure good soul. Like, yeah, I may be a dick, but I'm a genuinely good person. Like, I'm kind of okay, whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of the character. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking just be a, orphaned kid. I'm just gonna be who I am. I'm not gonna pretend, and that's what it is. So that's why he's like steal shit and this and that. Like, he's a little badass who's not pure good.
Yeah,
not like the old school Billy Batson.
Because even in the Shazam movie, he locked cops in a building and stole their car, kind of, or he didn't steal the car, but he used the radio, stole the lunch, and everything. And I always found that interesting. That they've never portrayed Billy Batson as the perfect person. Yeah. Like, Clark Kent is way more pure than Billy Batson.
Yeah, especially in the way they've been portraying him recently. He 100%, he's a little prick. But it makes sense.
Of course
Like,
it does. I mean,
it makes so much more
kid.
sense than the original way they had him. Like, he was the perfect good 1950s boy, like, because that's what he was back then. And now they're like, yeah, no.
It's like finding a virgin. Like Sacrifice, who's 18 years old or 21 years old.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that y'all aren't out there and you're not pure of heart, but it's a lot harder to find them if you're into those types of things,
Right.
than it would have been 30 years ago, 40, 50 years ago.
50 years ago. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
That was what I loved about one of Jim Carrey's early movies, Once Bitten.
Yeah.
Where it's in the 80s even, and they're vampires looking for the blood of a virgin, and they're like, this is so hard. Why can't we find a virgin anymore?
That's right.
But so even in the 80s, that concept was getting old.
Yeah.
So now it's like, yeah, and I agree, there's no way you're gonna find the perfect soul or the perfect pure heart who's not gonna do anything greedy or anything like that. So I understand it. I just found it interesting.
Yeah.
I also found it weird that in the Batman Superman Public Enemies movie, it's clearly Japanimation style a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's the only one that's visibly like that. His eyes are squinted and black. He's got black pupils. And it's like when he's talking, it's like,
yeah,
like his eyes are half closed when he's talking to Batman and Superman or fighting them. But you're like,
right.
Why are you like what a white guy would draw of a Chinese superhero?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Out of everyone else in the show.
Because that's kind of, they made it very close to the way the comics look, and sometimes it doesn't really translate to animation very well. Because like even that, like they don't have, like even like you look at the old pictures of Shazam and stuff, like it doesn't really, they do that whole like, it's not really eyes, it's almost like three lines, like the slits kind of thing. They do that a lot with him for some reason, for whatever reason. Just that old schooly looking fucking shit animation,
which I'm fine with, but it was just one character versus the rest.
Yeah.
So
I remember watching that too and being like, wait a minute, what the hell's wrong with his face?
I heard that. But actually the only other person that always happens to is Captain Cold because of his glasses.
Yeah.
They're just rectangle eyes.
Yep.
And you're like, man, you really loved hip hop in the early days, huh?
Oh my god.
Or you must really like Kanye now.
Kanye.
That is a topic for.
Yeah, we'll talk about Kanye Jesus when Monkey
when
Fun comes up.
Our music episode, because Kanye Jesus. Woo. I've heard good things about the album.
The album's actually pretty fucking good.
I have not heard it.
I've heard listen to the first 4 tracks. It's pretty fucking good. It's this whole gospel thing going in some of it. The first track, it's good. It's not his best, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I've never really been a fan of anything he's done for the most part.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me.
Yeah.
We'll save that. We'll table that topic.
We'll table that till our guest who was supposed to come today.
Shh. Nobody else knows that. We could have just.
They do, because we announced it on the last episode and we put it all over the Facebook
this week. I didn't say that we would be airing it this week.
Oh, true. Whatever.
But it actually worked out because I think I have some pictures from like early 2000s of him drumming that I want to look up and we can put them up on the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, tell me about this night.
Yeah, right?
Because I was there, but I didn't see it from your perspective. At the Boot and Nav Bar and Grill.
Yeah, so you told me to watch the Jenny Slates special, which
switching gears here
over to some comedy before we head out. Yeah, you were telling me to watch Jenny Slate's special. I watched it.
I didn't tell you to watch it. I said that she released one. Because when I told you that, I also hadn't watched it. I had planned on watching it because I like Jenny Slate.
True.
I wasn't saying, we're going to love it. The next Chappelle special.
Yeah, no. And I like her too. If anyone doesn't know, Jenny Slate was on Parks and Rec for a while.
Yes, she was.
She was.
She was a guest star.
Yeah.
More than on it. She was the
sister of John Paul.
Yeah, John Paul something.
I can't remember his last name.
Aziz Ansari's character's business partner most of the time.
Yeah, business partner, best friend.
Henry Winkle's son.
Yes.
In the show, not in real life.
Not in real life.
He's also hilarious though.
Yeah, he's really funny.
But she's also on Big Mouth. She's one of the voices.
Yes, I think she plays.
And she did a lot of characters on the Kroll Show.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I never really watched Kroll Show.
But so did Jenny Slate and what's her name from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Lisa Minetti, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, her. She was
also on the Kroll Show.
Yeah.
So they all like
group
of people. So
yeah, it was not good. Like I didn't chuckle.
I can't say it wasn't terrible, but I also didn't finish it because I fell asleep. But the point of her special was not a regular stand-up special. It was part documentary and part special.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of those. They're dumb. They're stupid. I can't stand when they do that. The only one that was interesting to me was the Tig Notaro one, just because her story is ridiculously amazing. But that it wasn't even really a stand-up documentary. That was just basically a full documentary that just had her stand-up bits in it.
Mm-hmm.
From what
I saw of this special, she didn't talk about the documentary at all in the stand-up.
No.
It was kind of just thrown in there.
Yeah.
And what she was joking about didn't have any correlation to the bits of recorded documentary.
Stupid. And the reason why it's stupid is because she's not anybody. Like, she's like, I feel bad, but like, saying that, but it's like, so Jim Breuer did that style of comedy special. One of his last big special, not last, but like a few years ago, he did one where it was he took his dad on the road.
We should get him on this show.
I know he's fucking right down the road.
He's right down the road. It wouldn't be.
I wonder how hard it would be to get him. I think he's actually on the road right now doing it because I've been seeing a lot of stuff. He ain't coming here.
We could go to him.
He ain't fucking doing this shit.
Why not? He might.
I don't know. You got his number?
No. But he's into doing local things, like helping out local community things and stuff. I don't know.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, maybe next season.
Someone could reach out to fucking Jim Breuer.
Maybe next season we'll work on that.
But like he did one where it's like one of these tours he did with his dad. He had his 90-year-old dad or whatever, how old he was, whatever it was, and he mixed in footage with the special. But it was a documentary, and it was like different. All the different footages from the special were from the different dates and stuff like that. So it's like that made sense, and it's Jim Breuer doing something like that. Like, I didn't even, to be quite honest with you, I didn't even remember Jenny Slate's name until I watched it. I went, oh, it's that one. Like, that's how little of, I don't know. And like, I don't know. And I don't think that she is an actual stand-up comedian as far as like. I
don't think she is either.
Yeah. I feel like, because Bert Kreischer and like Tom Segura and Joe Rogan, they all talk about it. Like, the actors that get into comedy that are just doing it to like, because they think it would be good.
Or because they play comic roles a lot.
Yeah, or they're just doing it to get a role on a TV show or this or that or whatever, because who like don't really care about the art form, and they wind up getting all these big things, like big shows and doing these big clubs and stuff just because they're the actor. She's one of those. She's one of those people that they hate.
Speaking of Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, he got thin. Sober October did well.
How'd your text message conversation go with him?
Oh, yeah.
We never talked about.
He hasn't said anything.
Well, you said he responded.
He responded once. Tom Segura responded once too.
What did you ask them? Did you say hello?
Nothing. I was just talking to him. I was just trying to just make conversation. They responded once.
But how did the conversation start? Was it just, "Hi, my name is John. What's up?"
I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on? I'm hoping this is like a real thing. Like, if not, cool. Later." Or something. I don't even remember. And then he responded like 3 days later. And then Tom Segura responded to me like a week ago. And that was like a week after I texted him, but he's in Europe, so I don't expect him to be responding to anything.
So
and
they
he's
get
probably
millions
got
of
like
people.
20,000 people texting him right now. I think he said he wound up getting like 10,000 people or something, or 5,000 people or something that have been texting.
Yeah, that's a
They both
lot.
had.
That's when you load the text messages onto an email platform and you go onto
Well,
a
that's what it
computer and
is.
you look at it instead of like this. Can you imagine 5,000 unread messages on your phone? It would blow up.
Yeah, it's a whole like app thing that they got specifically for these people. It's so weird.
But Bert's even had people showing up at his house recently because he gave his address away recently.
Yeah, they're actually
Or
moving.
not necessarily gave his address away, but he does some things where he shoots at his house.
Yep.
And he's in his special said what street he lived on.
Yep.
And has also said what city he lives in.
Yep.
So people figured it out. And he said on one of his I can't remember if it was on the new Bert and Bill podcast or if it was on the cooking show.
It was on the cooking show.
Yeah, where he had said, yeah, people have been showing up at my house.
Yeah,
and
it
he
was
just
all
like,
Sebastian. He's like,
whatever,
yeah, I gotta move. You know.
Yeah.
Because they said he was gonna wind up getting a new house because of it. But yeah, like she's the one that they all hate. Like that's what I think when they're talking about that like that's what it is. Because like even like listening to the audience in the special, they don't like they're not really laughing that hard at a lot of the stuff.
No.
Like, and it's like you could tell. I don't know. You could just tell that she doesn't
She
have.
did open up the show by saying, well, if you didn't pay to be here, then I would have paid you to be here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the way they cut the trailer, it didn't look phenomenal.
Right.
Like when you're on Netflix and you don't click on it, then it plays
Yeah,
clips and stuff.
yeah.
It didn't look terrible, but it didn't look phenomenal. And I was like, I like Jenny Slate. I'm going to watch this.
I
At
thought
some
it was
point,
good.
I'm going to watch this. It wasn't immediate. I saw it and was like, turn it on now. It was like, I'll put it to my list and I'll watch it later. And, you know.
It wasn't. Yeah, like I couldn't get through the whole thing. I got maybe like 20, 30 minutes in. And I was just like, I didn't chuckle once. I didn't even give like a smirk to any of the jokes.
She doesn't look like anyone in her family either.
Yeah.
Her two sisters, her mom, and her dad all look completely different than her. I think
but
she
it was like,
adopted.
It was like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to say I can write better jokes, but she's writing shit jokes as, you know, like I'm writing the same level kind of garbage that no one should be laughing at kind of thing. Like when I write jokes right now, I mean, it's like, sounds like her first time out doing stand up and she's just playing on the, I'm a dumb, crazy girl and I got a crazy voice and blah, blah, blah. Like, and it's just not funny.
I do love her crazy voice though.
Yeah, but like, you can't, like, that's not, like, it's not funny. Like,
No, I'm not saying it's funny.
Yeah.
I think your dehumidifier's full.
Too bad.
Really? That sounds like it's done now.
It's done.
I do love her voice though. I will say
yeah, I
that,
know it's
especially
great,
in
but like
animation.
the joke has to be more than just like the wacky.
Yeah.
I'm this wacky person, and I'm just gonna say things.
In her opening, because I can only talk about pretty much the opening since I fell asleep. But when she was like, "Yeah, my name's Jenny. It's not Jennifer."
She does that
Jenny.
3 times. She does.
Yeah.
She
and
brings
she's
that
like,
up again.
This is Jenny walking into a room.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're doing too much."
She says her name is Jennifer. She brings up her name is Jennifer 3 different times.
That her name is not Jennifer.
Or whatever, Jenny.
Yeah.
Like at 3 different times she reintroduces herself within the first 30 minutes. It's dumb. It's not fun. Like it's not funny. And I know people are gonna shit on me and say just it's because I'm a woman because you don't like women comics. No, they're fantastic.
Women comics are great.
They're great. We were just listening to because we were gonna compare it to Nikki Glazer's new special. Which if you're gonna watch a special, go watch that one because she is fucking hysterical. It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Then how did I not scroll across that?
I
Because
don't
probably
know.
would have picked that over the Jenny
It's
Slate.
so good. She's so funny. But she's also been doing it for 10 years. She deserves the special because she knows what she's doing. Like she can kill in a room and she's fucking hilarious. Or even Miss Pat. Like Miss Pat is fucking amazing. If you don't know who Miss Pat is, go check her out. She is hilarious. Chair. You should watch too. She's so funny. She was on Rogan a bunch. She's great.
Rogan. Read something interesting about him. I'm sure you came across it.
What?
And I was going to save this for when Monkey was here too. But Apparently, I don't know if this was clickbait or made
What?
up, but Joe Rogan is cousins or something.
Yeah, with Gerard Way.
Gerard Way, and
Yep.
that Helena is about like a grandmother.
Yeah, it's about their grandmother.
Cool. That was it.
Yeah.
And then I saw something else that was like kind of making a joke at that, like reaction to My Chemical Romance coming back.
The internet went ape shit over that. And I'm not even talking just like the music blogs and that shit. Like CNN, NBC, like major news outlets were like, oh my God, Joe Rogan and Gerard Way are cousins and they don't know each other.
And everybody else in the world went, who's Gerard Way?
Yeah. It's like, what? Like,
everyone knows who Joe Rogan is, but not everyone knows who Gerard Way is.
Either way, they made
everyone
this huge...
Everyone that we know knows who Gerard Way is.
They made this whole huge... Well, of course, they had to put Of My Chemical Romance fame in there, just so everyone would know.
But not everyone knows who My Chemical Romance is.
Most people do. They're big enough.
Yeah, but they weren't that big to the point where you say everyone knows who they are.
No, they were, because that Black Parade song was a #1 huge hit. That was everywhere.
They did have I'm Not Okay on Kids Bop too.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal that you pick a song that says I'm not fucking K to be in a Kids Bop song. But
yeah.
Song for children. But I love that shit. That's some dark, twisted shit right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the comedy, because this is not a music episode.
No, it's just dumb. That was another clickbaity thing that everyone's like, oh, they made the big thing about a throwaway fucking comment for like 30 seconds that they were talking when Kevin Smith was on last week. Yes. So, but yeah, I don't know. She like people like, Nikki Glaser, those people who are coming up and like Nick Glaser's, I think, is doing 2 specials this year. I don't know, when you have someone like that putting out a special and you're like, oh, it's this comedy special coming out and it's Jenny Slates and like, I don't know, it kind of to me throws real comedians, like, it's a slap in the face to real comedians. Like, I wouldn't care if it was funny.
But because it wasn't funny.
Because it wasn't funny.
It offends you.
It does. It does. And I could be wrong. She could be doing stand-up comedy her entire life, and I don't know about it. I'm probably gonna Jenny Slates.
See, it doesn't offend me at all. Mainly because I don't really get offended by things, but
yeah, first stand-up comedy special.
And I'm not saying that this is a scenario, but if she's wanted to do, you don't know her reasons for doing it. If she wanted to do comedy because it's something she's always wanted to do or whatever, she went for it. She tried. Somehow she got a Netflix special, but that's only because of probably her fame and her name.
There's so many amazing comics out there that don't have a Netflix special. And
of course there are.
And she gets it.
But
that's what kind of
Netflix,
offends me about it.
Netflix used to be very good at taking no-name comedians and giving them specials. I've seen a lot of comedians that I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
In 2007
well, that's how
on Netflix.
Tom Segura got his start.
They were awesome about their comedy specials. And lately, they only really give comedy specials to big people. They give a lot of comedy specials, actually, I should say. So a lot of them we don't see on our advertisements. I'm sure they're there if we look for them. But Netflix has always been good to comedians.
That's what they're doing. The Degenerate show is they're doing shorter, like 15-minute or half-hour specials for people. And they're doing it. I think it's called The Degenerates. And they're doing every season. They do like 8 or 9 comics, and they all give them all like a half hour. Because Nikki Glaser is doing a Degenerate special.
That'd be great.
And they're doing this one.
If only there was a network out there that centered around comedy.
Fuck you. I hate you. You're trying to keep a straight face to saying that, really?
Yeah, but I'm also saying that Comedy Central is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
They don't focus. It's like saying music television.
Yeah.
It's no longer a thing. So what I'm saying is, on this world of multi-platforms that we have going on that's destroying the universe, Disney, Netflix, all these companies and stuff, if only there was a network dedicated to comedy.
You would think that,
it would be amazing. How great would it be to one day watch a Daniel Sloss special and the next day you're watching fucking Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And then
Julie Dreyfus.
Yeah. You know, and it's just nothing but specials. It's not TV shows that are comedies. It's nothing but stand-up comedy. It'd be great.
It would be good. But you got YouTube for that now.
Yeah.
Really is what it comes down to.
YouTube is so much more than that also.
True.
I mean, what we have for that, I mean, there are, like, if you go on, like, Pandora and you put in comedians and you listen to the stations, it's all live stand-up specials, and they date back. They're not just recent stuff, but those are all audio.
Yeah.
And as much as an audio of a comedian is funny,
you need
some of the bits need visual.
Yeah, especially depending on who you're talking about. What comedian
like, imagine seeing the Dane Cook special where he's talking about aliens, and he's marching around the stage like, if you don't see him doing that, it doesn't make sense. So then you got someone like Pablo Francisco who does the movie phone voice. Right. You don't need to see him doing that because he didn't do anything special. Right. It was just about his voice.
Right.
There are different platforms. So a station that dedicated to comedy would be awesome. If only Comedy Central would learn from MTV's mistakes.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't learn from MTV's mistakes.
They learned from MTV's success.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't know. It's just annoying. I don't know. I wanted it to be good. Yeah. Again, I wanted to laugh. I wanted to like it. I wanted to just laughing my ass off.
Just like I wanted to have Halloween on Halloween. Didn't happen.
But I mean, even like Arsenio Hall put out a special. Like, some of it's funny. Like, I at least chuckled to it. Like, was it absolutely hilarious? No, but it made me chuckle
because it's Arsenio Hall.
It made me laugh. Some of it was good. Some of it just not my humor or whatever, but I at least laughed some of it. I just didn't find it overwhelmingly funny. Like, when I watch a Tom Segura, I watch a Burt Kreischer or Rogan special, like any of those specials, Nikki Glazer, I'm howling in laughter. Fuck, if I am any bit high whatsoever, I will laugh at everything they say. Jenny Slates, I didn't laugh at all. And I hate that because at least usually there's like one bit of something that I'll laugh at.
I want a new Craig Wilson special. You saw his name?
Craig Wilson.
I could be wrong, but I know his name's Craig. Daryl from The Office. Hot Tub Time Machine. Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
He plays piano.
Yeah. Craig Robinson.
Wilson Robinson. That was close. Yeah. He's hilarious.
Did he do a stand-up special?
He did one special. I think it was a Comedy Central special. I don't know if he did too good. But when he gets together with his friends, he's hilarious. And even when he plays piano and sings, he's like Bo Burnham, except without the theatrics.
Right.
He just kind of sings, and what the words are funny. Yeah, he's not putting a character behind it. I would like another special for him, or a official special.
He doesn't need to do it though. That's the thing.
No, but I need to see it.
Yeah, he probably. Yeah, but
and I'm sure he would love to do it.
Maybe, unless he was a guy who just got into comedy to get an acting gig. Like, he definitely could have been one of those. You know, and he just happened to be on like a Comedy Central special once when they were just giving him away for nothing.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, there's a lot of comedians out there that you only see once or twice, and they were great. But they were aired on Comedy Central at 1 a.m, and you're too tired to remember their names the next day, and you never find out who they were.
Yeah.
Like, there was one autistic comedian that was hilarious, and I don't remember. I'm sure if I Googled it, I'd find it because how many. And his like main punchline was the difference between people because of his mannerisms, calling him a faggot or calling him something else, a retard or something like that, and two terrible words that people don't often say. So because of his autism and the way it wasn't autism. I'm sorry, muscular dystrophy.
Okay,
makes a lot more sense. It's an autistic world that we're living in, so it's autism everywhere, autism awareness. We should probably cut that part out. So, but anyway, we could even cut this part out. But so his punchline, his hit single from that special basically was, he went, "This is my autism, and this is gay. This is my autism. This is gay."
You mean muscular dystrophy?
Yes. God damn it. We definitely got to do that. This is... No, it wasn't even that. God damn it. It was cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy?
Because he went, "This is palsy, this is gay."
So what we've learned today is
that I'm stupid.
that Mike hates autistic people, people with muscular dystrophy, and cerebral palsy. That's what we have learned about Michael today.
I blame not a sponsor. And I don't hate... I hate everyone equally, including you and myself.
Oh my god!
But no, I don't have any type of dislike for those people. That is bullshit.
Yes, he does.
I'm just digging myself a hole here, so.
You can't get out of this one.
Nope.
Cancel before we're started. Yeah, I don't know. It just anyone.
Wesley Farms, orange mango sparkling seltzer water. Who's not a sponsor. I hear when they get into trouble, they dig a hole in the sand and they put their heads in it.
Yeah, I don't know. If anyone watching, I definitely would not recommend watching it. Like I said, I'd recommend going and watching the Nikki Glaser special. That's new when it came out. Bert and Tom are both coming out with, they're filming their specials now, so they should be coming out with a couple in a few months. Fuck, I'd recommend to watch the Arsenio Hall one. It's not terrible. There's not a whole lot of specials coming out. I mean, there are, but none like the big guys.
A season for that.
It's kind of starting now. Is kind of when they all start coming out. But none of the at least the guys that I watch follow, none of the big guys are coming out with anything soon right now. I think Bert's filming his in November and Tom's filming his in November. I think Rogan's gonna be
both
doing
be giving
one
each
soon.
other under the table hand jobs.
Yeah. I don't know if Ari Shafir's got one. I don't think he has one coming out. I don't know, but a bunch of them.
I think Nick Thune just came out with something.
Did he really? He had one in a while. He had one
I just saw it.
You probably just saw it. It's been on Netflix for a while because I watched. If it's the one I'm thinking of,
I remember
he doesn't
him
play
being
guitar,
good, and then I remember him being awful.
He got away from the guitar thing.
Which is
I know
probably
that.
a good thing.
Yeah. At least I don't remember him playing guitar in the last special.
I want a new Nick
could be
Offerman
wrong.
special also.
See, that's one I feel like he did just because he felt like doing it kind of thing.
Well, that was his show all the way.
Yeah. And it's just he's I'm just going to kind of do this just
he was
for
on
fun.
Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Episode.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. How was it?
It's fantastic. Nick Offerman is such a great character in person that even my girlfriend walked in while I was watching and she went, "Wait, that's how he talks in real life and not from that stupid show you like?"
Oh, she doesn't like Parks and Rec?
She wasn't a big fan.
Oh,
and I was like, if only you knew that this, how similar his character was to his real life persona.
Yeah.
And it was and I even told her, I was like, he's married to was that Megan or
Megan Maloney or Megan Maloney or whatever her name is from Will and Grace. Yeah.
And she was like, "I love that show." I'm like, "I know, that's why I told you." I wouldn't have brought it up for no reason unless I knew that you loved that show. But yes, Nick Offerman he's the perfect man.
Does he break it all? Does he cry? Does he sweat? I feel like he doesn't do any of that.
He pretends to cry. And he does his all natural giggle. I can't imitate it at all.
I love his laugh. It's so good. It's so good.
I plugged in my keyboard yesterday. I took my MIDI keyboard out and plugged in my real one.
Oh my god!
And I forgot that on my sample pad, I have a whole pad of just Ron Swanson quotes from Parks and Rec, and I was like,
"That is fantastic." It's
amazing.
Skim
milk. Lying about being milk. It's water that's lying about being milk. So, yes. Nick Offerman. Fucking love him.
That special's not on Netflix anymore, which is super upsetting.
That was such a good special.
It really was. And
He plays guitar in that special too.
Yeah. It was so good though. Like, I'm upset that it's not still on Netflix because I want to rewatch it again. It's that good.
I'm sure it's out there. It's on YouTube or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see another one of those anytime soon.
Let's try and get in touch with Nick Offerman. Maybe he could build us a nice table for our podcast.
I don't think he's gonna do any of that. I would love a Nick Offerman table though. Yeah. So I think we're gonna head out. You know,
it's a good time. It's always a good time to end with Nick Offerman.
Always a good time to end with Nick Offerman.
Because you can't top it.
No, you can't. You really can't. So yeah, everybody, like, subscribe, comment, follow me on the socials. It'll all be down below.
We now have a Twitter.
We have Twitter now.
We got a Twitter, an Instagram, Facebook.
We got all of it.
If there's anything else.
No, and I'll link everything below. All the links to all that garbage. And yeah, guys, see you fucking later.